welcome back to my channel, Try5 Guy. This week we're in sunny Australia. Actually, it's about 30 degrees Celsius right now. I don't know what the math is in Fahrenheit, but this week we're going to be working on a VN Commodore, a 91 model, and we're going to be putting a 5 litre in it. It's currently a 3.8 litre Buick V6. So yeah, we're going to do an engine swap. So please like, subscribe, and hit the notification tab. Thanks, guys. Alright guys, so here it is, a 1991 Holden Commodore, 91 model. It's a February built car. So I think these started in 88, right Frank? Yeah. So it's got a 3.8 litre automatic car, and it's all original. I don't think it's ever been painted. Bit dark back here, but yeah, he's got it on a club permit. I don't know if it's still current, but it is. Yeah, so we're going to be taking the 3.8 out of it and putting in a 5 litre out of a VN. It's a VN V8, right? Yep. So here it is here, the engine up, just your standard 3.8 litre. It is a Series 2, I believe it is. So it's a 3.8 litre Buick engine. And so basically what we're going to do is we're going to utilise the hoist. We're going to lift it up in the air. We're going to undo drive shaft, tail shaft, sorry guys, tail shaft, all the speedo sensor for the, you know, for your speedo. Yeah, drive shaft, centre bearing, everything associated with the underneath of it. Then rear cross member, we'll just leave it in, you know, like leave one bolt in each side on. And then undo the struts and cross member, and then drop it from the bottom side down, so the engine will come out through the bottom. And then we're gonna, yeah, so we'll get it out first, guys. Anyway, there it is there. It looks all right. Pretty clean car, actually. It is. All right. Making sure it's safely on the hoist, lift, whatever you want to call it. So guys, I'm here for for another 5 weeks. I've been here just under a month already. We're limited by the height of the of what we're working on here, because you can go up a bit more, mate.
Yeah, I've got this ladder set up so you can jump up and tell me.
Oh yeah. So we're limited by this mezzanine level here. Yeah, keep going, mate. You're good. Whoa, slow down. Just bump it now. Bump it. Yeah, a bit more, about 2 inches more. Bit more. Bit more. All right, that'll do. All right, let's get stuff undone. First thing we're going to do is we're going to undo the tail shaft. It's not bad, actually. Plenty of height for a small guy like myself. So first thing I'm going to do is 13mm, I'm sure. 13 or 14mm. Yep. Undo that. Centre bearing, pull out the drive shaft. These, got to be careful with oil leaks, because you know, we're going to be undoing that. So do that. We're going to be undoing the you know, exhaust is going to come out. Undo the exhaust. Going to undo the cross member up here. We're going to support it, obviously, and we're going to drop the whole thing down that way. All right guys, we'll be back. Fucking torque again. So what we're going to do is we're going to cut that beam out. We've moved the car forward because I hit my head 3 times already underneath the car, and I said fuck it. So my brother is going to cut a slot out of that beam. Don't worry guys, there's plenty of strength in that beam. It's only holding up the rest of the garage, so don't worry, we'll cut it out. Oh, I'm scared. I don't think my brother's scared either, so let's do it. So guys, we notched that beam out so we can get the car up a bit higher, because we're smacking our heads everywhere. So next, so we've taken off the exhaust, we've taken off the tail shaft, I've taken off the sway bar bolts here. He's trying to wrestle the bolts out of that tail shaft there. So next we're going to undo BSS stuff up here. Do that and just work forward. We're going to take off the headers. No, we're going to drop the headers and the cross member all. We're going to leave it all connected. There's no need to take them off. We're going to undo the cable. We're just going to loosen these off. So when we get it closer to the ground, it'll come off. We're going to work out how we're going to disconnect it here. I think we're going to take it off from here, so we leave the struts in, but just disconnect it from the lower control arm. Like I said, this is off because this will come down with it. We'll undo this one here, or that one up there. What else? So we're just going to keep going, taking off stuff here. Like I said, the whole strut, the whole K member with the motor is all going to be connected. Disconnect, transmission lines. We're going to undo these engine mount bolts already, because let's say, for instance, he's going to probably sell this motor. We want to be able to get to these, have it already off, ready to go. Air conditioning lines, we're just going to disconnect, take off the stuff in the engine bay. But what we're doing first, we're going to do the hole underneath the car. Well, engine associated sections. All right, guys, we'll be back. All right, guys, so we're going to separate these ball joints, and these VNs are notoriously hard to get off. I mean, they are hard. We've taken off the sway bar links and the sway bar off the frame. We've taken off the nut for the other side ball joint here as well. Might have to put a little bit of heat in here. You can see where someone's been hitting it previously, or you can see they've had a hard time. So it's obviously had ball joints in it before. But yeah, we're going to separate that because we're using the V8 K-frame over here. So this is a V8 K-frame, and young fella already painted it and ready to go. I'll show you the motor later, but it's a VN injected motor that's going in it. Tail shaft's already done. The rack and pinion, although they're the same, he's got one right here. So basically, you can see I've already loosened off the K member off the frame. It's just loose, right? Just sitting there. I'm going to drop the water now, lower radiator hose, get that out of there. I'm going to drain the oil out of it, and get all the underneath stuff all sort of situated, so it'll just drop straight out. And here's the other side. See, I've already got it loose, so we're going to get it to a certain section, and then undo the cross member when it's on the ground. I'm going to have it on jack stands or something so we can get under it, and then lower the car, you know what I mean? So we'll put jack stands under the K member and the cross member here in the back, and then just lift the car up. And my brother's got a Bobcat, I know, or we've got there's an engine crane right there, and we'll just pull it back over there and sit it over there, then lift it up with, I don't know, he's got an excavator here too, so the Bobcat's off the truck, so we'll just lift it up, we'll put it out of the way here, and then what we'll do is we'll assemble everything here, put the K member on, put the motor in, engine mounts, transmission behind it, got a new fly, he's got all that. That's the sort of stuff I'll show you in a minute, and assemble it. We're going to roll it back under the VN as one complete unit, and do the reverse of the same. Get it all lined up, and put the bolts back in. Bolt it all back up, and then put everything back up the way it was. So that's where we're at the moment. So let me undo get the fluids out of it, and we're waiting. I just bought a ball joint separator, had a couple of goes hitting it, and like I said, you can see they've been, well, this side here, that doesn't look like they've been hitting it, but you can tell all the damage here. We've hit it a couple of times where we've slipped off with the ball joint separator, but we're just going to put a bit of heat here. If it doesn't come off, then I don't know, we'll just lob them off and replace the struts, I guess. He's going to lower it anyway at one point, so for now we just want to get it in and out so we can roll, right? We need to get it rolling in and out of here. So that was last night, and we wasted so much time, but I looked it up, and I know my VR is completely different setup. So yeah, so we're just waiting on the gas to get here. We'll empty out all the trans lines and the water lines and all that stuff. So yeah, all right, we'll be back, mate. All right, guys, so yeah, we've taken off the ball joints out of there. Absolute nightmare to do on these VNs. So they're off. Taking off the shifter linkage as well. Shifter linkage is off. We're not going to do that. I said I was going to take the speedo, the speedometer wire off. I've taken the speedometer wire off, and that's all ready to go. So now we're gonna start. We've already unbolted the member, as I said earlier. We're actually going to get the car down to the ground, set up on jack stands, and undo everything upstairs. So let's do that. Here's another thing. While my nephew here turns off the fan because I can't hear anything. Ball joint separator, $14. Sydney Tools sell them. Great, mate. Without these, you're having a hard time getting these VN. Now my brother's mowing the lawn. Why? I don't get this. Why? He knows I'm recording. Nah, anyway, so ball joint separator. That's all right. Goes into there and just bang, bang, bang. Hit it with a decent sized hammer. I think we use about a 20-pound hammer, like a 10-kilo hammer. We knocked it out and eventually it separated. We did use a little bit of heat just to you know, help it along a bit, but it come off. Yeah, Sydney Tools, $14. I've got two sizes. The smaller one's better. It's got more of an angle there, you know what I mean? The distance between these two here, hang on. The distance between here and there, it's bigger at Sydney Tools. So, you know, both sides, drop them out finally, thank God for that. Once we add this tool and a little bit of heat, 5 minutes, Frank?
Yeah, 5 minutes. Yeah.
5 minutes. Tie down the car, guys. We're going to take the motor and transmission out of here, right? It's got a rear end under it still, right? So, I mean, obviously, weight transfer. So, and we're taking out the cross member, motor, transmission, exhaust, rack and pinions all coming out at the same time. All the accessories on the engine. Tie it down, tie it down. All you have to do is do a search on YouTube for cars flipping off hoist, and that made me think, yeah, I'm tying down every car now that we work on. So anyway, guys, we've undone everything, like I said, for the 100th time. We're going to lower the car down. Radiator hoses are coming off, and all the stuff, we're going to jump inside the car, undo the ECU wires, feed them through the firewall plug. Yeah, undo all the accessories, any wiring attached to the motor, and yeah, we'll pull it out. So we'll be back. Guys, so everything downstairs is taken off. So upstairs, we're going to take the radiator completely out of it. We don't need it. We're putting a V8 radiator in it. Airbox, all the tubing for it. Accelerator cable, bracketry, we're going to take that off. We're going to hang it over the side. We're going to start undoing the wiring. There's that big plug that's connected to the ECU. We're just going to route everything across. My brother's still cutting the lawn. We've been cutting it for 3 hours. Okay, yeah. And then, thank God, we're going to undo anything that's attached to the engine as far as wiring. Yeah, so we're going to get into that, mate. Yeah, let's get into it.
I don't know why he would pick such a fucking hot day to run.
Okay, that's off.
Well, do you want to... I'll move that chair in a minute and you put them on that side.
Probably going to leak in the engine block, right? I'm recording, but it's all going to be... I'm going to do fast motion, you know what I mean? Like I do the fast motion after.
Yep. Mellow is here.
Okay.
Mellow is here.
Yeah.
So tell me the capsicum there, young dog.
Oh, man.
So was this between Camelo and...
So,
did you expect to win the fire up that way?
Yeah, you can tell my sister-in-law when she's like moody. You know what I mean? She's moody, and I don't usually, but I had to say something, you know.
Why? Because...
And I said, I didn't get any. She said, you guys were, and I said, I wasn't. And I said, do you hear what I said? I said, Joanne, not me. You don't say I was. But no, you were minding our business.
But also, too, you never like to say anything.
Who?
Yeah.
And his daughter's completely opposite.
Yeah, 100%.
She's like a dad. She's married to a dad. Okay, it's off.
What's that?
Well, you can get out of that bracket.
Well, this has got to come out anyway, because the 5-litre one's not here anyway. It doesn't make it better. Yeah, do you want to do this and I'll do that?
Yeah.
What do you want the radiator hose off?
Yeah, I just can't get to it from
So you got the clamp undone. Yep.
Hey, why is it ratcheting?
No, because it's got like a tip up there, it's got like a square that's a breaker by the one.
Alright.
See that? Like, you would take that belt off so you don't fuck it.
Yeah, it's alright. Take that off. I'm just saying,
But
like,
you could use that.
yeah. I'm just saying.
No, I'm saying like, if I take the hose off, all the shit, then you, I'll see if I don't think any.
I'm just saying, we just need to get that radiator hose off, and you don't. Okay, fuel lines, brake booster. This is coming off here.
I don't know, like that's got like a little wing nut on the inside.
I don't understand, but we're not using a ratchet to do it.
Yeah,
you know
yeah, but when you go one way, for some reason it pops back up.
No, you're right, yeah, just keep going with the ratchet, mate, not that.
3
3/8, mate.
Bit.
Yeah. Take that thing off from under it so it doesn't fall. This is the throttle positioning sensor.
Yes, bro.
Is it same position for a V8? Same unit? Does it have it there? So I'll just do this now.
I can tell. I can look at the thing a bit better.
That's almost out.
Alright, they're undone. I can see the hole now.
Alright guys, make sure when you take out your ECU, this is a VN automatic ECU. How do I know that? Because it's written right there. Right, make sure you probably take out your ECU and the plug going through the firewall before you put it on the hoist and you can't open the doors. So that's why he's like that. So, can you see that plug, mate?
All good, got it.
You got the plug?
Yep.
Alright,
Yep.
we'll be back.
We're ready to push through in a minute. I'm just seeing where the other cables are going.
Alright guys, so we've got the jack stands in place. We're going to put one at the transmission cross member and two we're going to put under here. One on this side of the K-frame, one on this side of the K-frame. And we are going to lower it. Do you want to lower that a bit, mate, please? So Frankie's going to lower it down, get it, you know, in close to the position. We'll adjust the stands. So get it pretty close, mate. So what we're going to do is we're going to have these situated underneath it. We're going to crawl under it. It'll still be on the hoist, guys, but it'll, so for safety reasons, but it'll be attached under there. So when we go back up and we'll undo those bolts and go back up. A bit more, mate, if you could. Keep going, mate, keep going, a bit more. Alright, guys, we're going to stop it there and we'll be back, okay? 28%, alright. Alright, guys.
I'll turn the fan off then.
Yeah. Okay, guys, the time has come. We are going to lift it out. We might have a wire connected to it still, we might not. Undid the K member, cross member, whatever else. We actually took off, guys, I think it's a good idea to take off the coil pack. We read online and nowhere did it say to remove the coil pack. So we took it off because it looks like it overhangs onto the rail. So we took it off just for safety and zip tied it. We left it connected so it can go back on the motor easy. I think we go up a couple of hits, Frank, just hit a couple of times. Yeah, a bit more, mate. Yeah. Alright, keep going, mate. Alright, let's have a quick look at that there. Now, just move anything out of the way. Spark plug leads look like they were clear. Put this under here now. Alright, come up a bit more, mate. Alright, well, we'll just have a look there, mate. Have a look with me, mate, so we know. Maybe underneath or...
Just put the safety on.
The thing is, we've got to get it high enough to get the engine out. So, do you know what I mean? I think we'll be okay, right?
Yeah, well we've got it all cars all tied off to the legs.
Yep. What I'm saying is we need to get it up high enough to sneak the engine out, you know what I mean, from underneath the car.
Yeah.
So, but anyway, what do you reckon? Go up again, mate?
It's looking like, from what I can see, yeah. Yep.
Alright.
I'm just checking this, yep, that's off, yeah?
Yeah.
That kick down, is that out?
Yeah, that's alright, that's connected to transmission.
That's fine, yep.
Alright, we'll go up a couple more times. I think we got just about everything.
Just checking these. Hang on a sec, we've got one connector on the auto.
Yeah, should it be connected to the auto?
No, it's going through the
From the loom. Oh, from the boot?
yeah. No, through the tunnel.
Okay, you got it?
I'm going to come down a little bit. There's a bit of too much pressure on it.
Okay, so What is it? Is it like the speedometer?
Looks like a possible sensor or wire or something.
Alright. So that's connected in through the car, so that, yeah, okay, gotcha.
Yeah, yeah, I'm just going to come down a little bit, take tension off.
Alright. I see it, so like.
That's all I can see at the moment. I'm just having a quick look.
Okay, something else is holding it? Or was that my imagination?
Feels fucking loose.
Feels like it's going to fall off.
Off the stand? Yeah, it's probably tough. You know what we could do?
It's almost up, mate.
It's just because it's heavy, like...
Yes, it's up long. Oh, it is actually. See the, it's off the, whatever's holding it, it's lifting it up.
Okay.
We're going to go back down, mate.
Yeah, okay.
Something's holding that up, believe it or not.
Okay, you all clear?
Yeah. Okay. Got to find out what's holding it. Take me home, Johnny. Yep. Keep going, mate. Keep going, mate. Yep. Yep. Bit more. Bit more. Bit more. Hang on, hold it there. Up, mate. Up, mate. Okay, let's go home with it all the way up.
You want to tell me?
Right, you get the marks, haven't you?
Yeah. That's all about it.
That's right.
That's tripping me out.
Yeah, hang on. Alright, mate, keep going. Keep going. Keep going more. More. Oh, you must be close there, right?
Yeah, I am, yeah, no, it's tripping.
Alright,
Sorry.
so that's out.
Sorry, it's tripping me out.
Tripping you out. Was that the camera? Yeah, it was. Alright. Alright guys, so the engine and transmission come out. All we did was we forgot to unplug the vehicle speed sensor. That was the only thing we forgot to do. It actually goes up through the transmission tunnel, unlike the VR that I did on my car back home in the States. But that was the only difference. This is a country Victoria car with that brown dirt there. Anyway, motor 700R4. No, sorry. Yeah, 700R4 transmission. Come out in one piece. Look at the filth and crap on that. Unbelievable. I don't think I've ever seen an auto so dirty. But the motor, cross member, everything comes out. He's selling this motor. It ran really well. How many miles on it? Kilometres?
235 kilometres.
235 kilometres VR original motor out of this car. 91 model. Just let us know if anyone's interested in it. It's a good motor. It is a good motor. You got a video of it running, haven't you?
Yeah, yep.
There's a video available of it running. There's nothing wrong with it. He's just putting a 304 in the car. So, and that's what we'll show you later on in a minute here. All right, guys, be back. Another day, guys. Sunday. Bit overcast today here in Melbourne, Australia. But anyway, working on the VN again. Flying solo this morning. Anyway, so I had to make this section here down there. As you can see, I've got a few little pinholes to weld up. You know, I don't have the equipment that I do back home in the States, but this is a common problem in VN to VS Commodores. They rust out because of the acid in the battery. So it was rusted out around the edges here. You can see the edges, you know, so I made that up. I still got to put the hole in it, but like I don't have any folders, any bead rollers, nothing. So I had to make that by hand and weld in there, and I'm using this massive MIG, like turned all the way down. It's just too powerful for sheet metal. But you know, I got it in there. I just got to patch up a few holes. So don't crucify me too much. It come up all right. So a little bit of filler on it, just to, you know, make it, hide it, I was going to say, just to hide it. But yeah, basically to hide all the welds. But I'll get that done now and I'll be back. I was just wondering what you guys thought. Okay, so what I'm thinking about doing is I'm thinking about bolting the cross member. Well, we're thinking about bolting the cross member in first, right? And put the rack in, all that sort of stuff. Have everything ready to go. All the V8 air conditioning, like the V8 condenser. I think everything exits this side. I think. I'm pretty sure. But the pump's on this side on the V8. Where on the V6 it's on this side. So we're thinking about we're going to think about putting on all the AC lines ready to go. So we're not trying to wrestle all this stuff in here with the engine in place. So get all that done. We're going to clean up the engine bay. The paint's actually quite good. So we've just got to clean it, and he's going to hand polish it. Clean all underneath, paint the under, probably rust inhibitor the underneath. Get all the surface rust on, put a coat of paint on it, and drop the motor in. It's not going to be a show car, but I think it's more, more valuable, I guess, if it was all original paint, which this car is, So putting the V8 in it, will be a good addition to this car. You know what I mean? So anyway, let me know what you guys think about putting the motor and transmission in as one unit versus trying to set it up like that. You know what I mean? On the V8 cross member and rack, and then putting it in from underneath. I just think we're going to have all sorts of problems lining these up, lining these two up, the transmission. I think we're going to have problems with, it's pretty tight with a V6, let alone the V8. Let me know what you guys think about doing that. Cross member, put the struts back on so it's rolling, and then take the bonnet off, and then put the motor and transmission in, and one hit. But I mean, I'm talking about having all the AC lines in here ready to go. So let us know what you think. All right, guys. So here where we are, started cleaning the inside of the engine bay. So get all the grime and grot off. It's coming up quite clean actually. Pretty much all the same all the way down there. So we're going to clean it first, then we're going to put some like a converter on it, a rust converter, go over it, and probably put some this light body deadener on, or gravel stop or something like that. Obviously lived on a gravel road. The dirt that come out of this thing inside the rails here that he blew out was amazing. So yeah, so there's the bottom of that patch panel I put in. Yeah, so let's go over here. 304 out of a VN. Yeah, so that's the donor engine going in. Over here we've got, the cradle as I've shown earlier, and that's all the V6 stuff out, and the motor, you've seen that. Yeah, so let me get the car down. I'll show you the engine bay. All new gasket sets for the oil pan, valve covers, rocker covers, sorry. More stuff in here for the V8 conversion sway bar, all the aircon lines, condenser, fan, engine, shroud, radiator. It's all right, go for it. Transmission rebuilt, turbo 700, all belts and stuff here. Drive shaft all ready to go. He's putting VT brakes on it. VT brakes, mate, right? Yeah. He's putting VT brakes. There's the fan. We've got everything. Everything's ready to go. Yep, so there's all that. All right, I'll show you the engine bay. All right, guys, here's the engine bay. Pretty clean. Come up great. Cleaned it up. So what I'm going to do is, see the repair I did there? You probably can't tell, but, I'll prime that up, and at the same time we're gonna clean up that a bit better and just blow the top of that with a bit of paint and any little touch-ups, anything that's noticeable. Other than that, the motor's going back in there, it's clean up. By the time I put the motor back in, it's gonna look mint. Yeah, that's the scuttles off, the scuttle covers off, because we're putting, you gotta put the V8 lines on for the air conditioning. So basically, when you do a V8 conversion, one of those, you still want to retain air conditioning. You have to change the condenser. Condensers are different. The lines for the air conditioning are different from where it goes into the heater box core air conditioner. Right there, you can see there's a rag there. Probably can't tell, but there is one there. So that's all different. So basically, you have to change all the lines. You have to change your K member. The differences are, I think, engine mount positions between the V6, but but don't worry, most, also, these are different on a V6. They're out more, apparently, and you've got to notch them out if you put like an LS in it. When I'm doing my LS conversion, I'm using V6 to LS engine mount, so I don't have to do that. I might still have to notch these, but that's no big deal. I'm running the TS Astra power steering unit on mine, the remote setup, so I left my VR rack in it. So and of course I'm going to mount it over there. It's actually off of Opel in Europe, but identical TRW one, but this one's getting the factory power steering. Yeah, so showed you the transmission. During the week here, we're going to paint the top of that rail. So I'll prime that, let it sit, you know, scuff it down, paint the top of that rail, get that all nice and clean. Now, this is 30-year-old paint. Is it going to match? It's going to be the same color, but it might not match. I mean, this is old. I'm going to do it in single stage because this stuff's all single stage. So anyway, it's going to look good, guys. This lowest radiator support panel got hit. I noticed it yesterday. It was twisted out a bit, so I knocked that back in. And what else did we do? Yeah, we just cleaned it up, got it all ready to go. So next thing, we're going to paint that, bang the cross member back on it, and advice time. Do we set up the transmission behind it, put it back in the cradle, or do we set up the cradle back in the car and just put the motor and transmission on? Okay, what I'm asking is, imagine trying to line up all these and the transmission and the lower ball joints into the struts. It'll be a big nightmare to try to line up everything. It can be done, but I'm leaning towards taking off the bonnet and just, you know, putting it in like normal. I don't know if the rack has to be lowered. Like some people say, oh, you got to lower the rack on a V6. I know, because I had to do it myself, but I don't know if it applies to the V8. Because the V8 pan's completely different in this thing. So, well, it might have enough room. I don't know. I'm asking for advice, so let me know. All right, so I've painted that area that I replaced down there. Come up all right. Pretty close match. It's good enough. It's going to be hidden with all the accessories on the engines. You don't even see any of that. That was pretty dirty over there because it must have had a leak in master cylinder at one stage, and all this rail was pretty crappy. So, yeah, that's all painted up. Happy with that. And now I'm going to paint the underneath of the rails next, but I'll do that on the next video. You'll see that. And then I can put the cross member in. All right, guys. All right, guys, that's it for this video. And the next part 2 will be us putting all the stuff that we have to put on and try to install the engine transmission, get all that fitted. That'll be on the next video. Yeah, so thanks for watching the V6 to V8 conversion on the VN Commodore. We'll see you on the next one. Peace.